What's up? Thanks for tuning in to my chess improvement journey. I am right now Ramsey, and this is my Road to 1500 series, in which I attempt to go from 1100 to 1500 in 100 days on chess.com. If this sounds like something that would interest you, please subscribe and click the bell for notifications to be notified of new videos in which you will greatly benefit in your journey as well. Today we are on day 35. My current ELO is 1229, leaving 271 to go. After quite a few losses a couple days ago, I'm happy to say that I was able to come back with a win in a well-played game. So in this game, I have the white pieces, and I'm playing a guy named Dadilly77. Who's from the United States as well. I start off with d4, and according to the opening book, it looks like he's playing the Dutch defense, which, if I'm being honest, I don't feel that I play the Dutch defense very much, and I'm attempting sort of stonewall structure. I don't know if it's going to call this the stonewall, but I have every intention of playing a game similar to that. And this right here is my first inaccuracy on move 9. Knight g5 was the best move, which is very interesting. I guess because if he takes, then I take. Okay. I guess I couldn't take because the queen's guarding that. But anyways, it says knight g5 is the best move. I'd rather have my knight right here in the middle of the board, and I realized that he's probably going to play this sometime in the near future. I decide, since there's not a lot going on in the middle of the board, that I will go ahead and move the pawn up and start gaining space. I push this pawn to, one, protect this pawn, but also to fianchetto my bishop. And I think he might understand that I'm gonna do that, so he moves his knight there. And I take, which they say is a good move. He takes. I can't move this pawn because then he gets the rook. So he plays this. I can't take because then he wins the bishop. But I do notice that if I get my queen over here, I'm able to take this with check. So I decided to take with the pawn here, open up my rook, attack his bishop here. And I thought about if I would take that pawn back, but then I realized if I push this pawn, it's cutting his bishop off from protecting this pawn. So I play that, which they say is a great move. Now I got both this knight and the queen attacking this piece. So he plays this, which they say is an inaccuracy. His best move was queen c8. And I realized after I played this that this wasn't the greatest move. My best move at this point would have been probably to take this, but the engine says rook takes f8 is the best. So I bring the rook over here to protect this pawn, because if I don't, he takes with check, wins the free knight. He decides he wants to push my queen away, but I was already planning on moving it anyway. So I just go ahead and take the free piece here. And after I took it, I realized that I was in a sort of pickle here. Um, if I move my queen, he takes the bishop for free. So instead of doing all that, I decided let's go ahead and take the bishop with the rook. He takes with the queen. I take back. Interestingly enough, rook f1 was the best move. If he takes, then I take with checkmate. So then he would have to move out of the way. That would have been good looking too. I take, he takes. Now I feel I'm in a pretty good position here. Material is completely equal. He's got the 2 rooks. I got a rook, a bishop, and a knight. I have some pretty good space with my pawns. I really like my position here. So does the engine. It says I got a 3.2 advantage on move 23. Best move was knight takes f6. If I trade, it would be completely even, I guess. But I didn't feel like that was the way I wanted to play it, so I don't. I push the pawn here. If he takes, I get a free rook. And he doesn't take, so I continue pushing it. One of these pawns are liable to promote if the game goes on. He pushes. Attack the bishop. Inaccuracy. Bishop takes e6 was the best move at this point. But anyways, I decide now that I'm going to make sure that this pawn doesn't go anywhere. And he brings the king down. I bring the rook over to protect the pawn during a push. And then he plays this move. It was an inaccuracy. Best move, h6. But anyways, I now play the rook e5 check, which they say is a great move. If he moves this way, well, I would just check, and then he's gonna have to eventually lose a piece in some sort of fashion. But he goes here, and I find mate in 1. This is a pretty interesting checkmate. I really didn't see it unfolding until he made that move. Then when I calculated if I move the rook here, I was first thinking I'd win the bishop, but then I realized he don't have anywhere to go. I mean, the rook's covering here, the knight is covering here, pawn's covering here. He has nowhere to go. So this is how the game ended on day 35. And I'm happy to say that I walked away with a victory, and my rating is now back up to 1229. So if you got a channel similar to this, you're doing a road to 1500, road to 2000, road to 100, road to 1000, comment that, and I'd love to check out your channel. I'm really inspired by other people that are doing this, and I show support where I can. But that's it for day 35. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on day 36.